Dear students, welcome to Java Programming. Currently, we are at Unit 5 discussing Chapter 2 called Multi-Threaded Programming. Currently, we are at video 11. This is the last video of this chapter. And these are the topics we are going to discuss today. Inter-thread communication. Sometimes one thread, two or more threads may are concurrently mutually they are executing and dependence on the other thread execution. We call these cooperative threads. So in that thread needs to be communicate with each other, then how this thread inter-thread communication will be provided. The next topic it is deadlock and race situations. So during this communication point of view inter-thread, it may not be properly organized. The system may be going to in a deadlock state, and the race situation is to be taken care in a proper order to not achieve this deadlock conditions in a system. And the last topic is suspending, resuming, and stopping threads. Sometimes you may want to suspend the thread as it is possible in multi-threading. And sometimes you may want to resume the thread as it is also possible. Sometimes whatever the suspended threads may resume of their executions. And sometimes you may want to stop the thread execution by using stop method. Then the first topic today, inter-thread communication. And as we had a discussions on the multi-threaded concepts, and we know that this multi-threading replaces the event loop and polling mechanisms in single thread, right? And generally, this event loop programming generally divides your program or a task into discrete and logical units, where that based on the event it generates, the polling mechanism usually implemented based on that event loop that is used to check some conditions repeatedly. What the next has to be part to be run is executed like that. Once the condition is true, appropriate action is taken. So till that action or response from the event action taken on a particular thread, so CPU sits idle, that automatically wastes CPU time. It wastes CPU time. So for example, consider the situation like, consider the classic queuing problem. Generally, this one already may be covered in operating system subjects like that, where one thread is producing some data and another is consuming. And this problem, classical problem, will considered as a producer-consumer problem. As a producer thread, it produces some data. As a consumer process, it consumes that data. To make the problem more interesting here, suppose that the producer has to wait until the consumer it finishes before it generates more data. So here it is. The problem of this given about threads producing data and consuming data. So here in between we need some maintain some buffer temporarily. Based on the buffer size, the producer may produce items into the buffer and consumer consumes the items from the buffer. It is the one problem related. But here it is. And when we making that into a polling system, that the consumer would waste many CPU cycles while it waited for the producer to produce. Why? Because the condition given here it is, the consumer has to wait until the producer has to produce an item. In the same way, the producer has to wait until the items can be produced by the consumer process. And in between, whatever we have, for example, I'm just giving one simple, when I have a buffer like this, and P is the producer process and C is the consumer process. When I produced an item like I want here, then this item consumed by C, but before that, the producer has to wait to generate item 2. Even though it is ready to produce this item, so due to memory efficiency or buffer availability, the producer has to wait for that item to be consumed by the consumer process. So in the same way, when it is consumed by C1, then uh, empty buffer is available. In that case, sometimes consumer may wait until the producer produces an item into the buffer. When it is produce item 2, then consumer will consume it. Otherwise, it wait for to produce an item. This is the way. Once the producer was finished, it would start polling and wasting more CPU cycles waiting for the consumer to be finished. And so on like this, it will be doing that way. So clearly this situation is undesirable in that some of the cases. We are wasting so much time of this producer and consumer processes CPU time, right? So to avoid this polling concept, Java includes an elegant inter-process communication mechanism via the wait and notify all methods. So using these methods, we can make a proper inter-thread communication among the dependent threads working on in multi-threading concept. These methods are implemented as final methods in object. So all classes can have them, these methods. All three methods can be called only from within synchronized context. So we can call these methods in those synchronized methods based on that object threads invoked or using, right? The rules for using these methods actually quite simple here. The first method is wait, which tells the calling thread to give up the monitor and go to sleep until some other thread enters the same monitor and calls notify. So wait is a method which brings that thread into the monitor. Then it going to sleep, right? Then the other thread enters the same monitor that calls notify. When the notify method is invoked by another object of thread on the same monitor, then the first thread waits on the same monitor will resume, right? So this is the relation between this wait and notify. So wait means going to in sleep mode, and to wake up that waited thread, the notify is the method to wake up that waited threads. So this is the relation, wait and notify. The second one is notify is a method wakes up a thread that called wait on the same object. That's the point I'm trying to tell you, right? From the first part. And notify all means wakes up all the threads that called wait on the same object. Notify is respectively with the point of view, the object point of view. For example, T1 is a thread that calls on wait, right? So then we can call that T1 dot notify given by any method like. So automatically this notify makes to wake up this thread T1, like but so not T1 like that, only the wait, and you can call directly wait and notify. So notify all means whatever the threads called wait on a particular object, all the threads will wake up. So one of the threads will be granted access. Only one will be accessed. Even though we are we are waking up all the threads on the same object, but only one thread will get granted access. And all these methods are final. And this wait method throws an interrupted exception. It throws an exception, and we need to care of this wait call method in try block and need a catch handler. Additional form of wait also allows you to specify a period of time. You can mention some time value in this method as a parameter, then the thread will go to sleep into that particular period of time. And listen carefully here, it is an example of producer consumer problem. So I have a class Q, one integer variable, and two methods get and put method. So here this integer indicates what number item you are producing into the buffer. Just think like that. So get method is nothing but to get the number from buffer. Put the method indicates putting that number into the buffer for consumer. Right. Put is the method useful for producer to put the number into the buffer. Just assume like. And get is the method useful for consumer to get the number from the buffer. Like that. As I told you in the previous one, producer is there. Consider this as a buffer, box as a buffer, and this is consumer process. And here it is. So put is a method used by the producer to put the number into the buffer, just like n. And get is the method used by the consumer to get the number from the buffer, like that. Okay, this is the scenario of this class. And coming to the producer problem here, producer class that implements runnable. Why? Because producer need to create a thread or to run this to produce items. So where I have an object of this Q class, and in my constructor, producer constructor here, so we invoke that object into this case using this keyword and created one thread that the name is producer, and it is invoked for this current object, and that thread has started. Right? When the thread is created by this producer, and it need to be start, and after start it goes verify the run method, and inside of run method I am writing for this one infinitely, putting the values from 0 to infinity, 0 to 1. Continually it is going to put the numbers into the buffer. Right? Here it is one simple mechanism here. Okay. If you observe here, there is no inter-thread communication we are using here, using wait and notify all. We are just making these two processes communicated. Without communication, they are producing items and consuming items. Then coming to the consumer problem here, consumer class implements the same runnable, the same consumer, same method, consumer, it is started inside run method, it is started getting the number from the buffer. Inside of this main class, main method, I have created that class, the main class we got in, right? Q class. So the object of this one, I am passing this object as a parameter to the constructors when we are creating an objects of that producer class and consumer class. And this is an infinite process. Why? Because here we made while condition as true in both the consumer and producer problems. So the loop going to infinite. So to stop that infinite loop of executing processes, producing and consuming, press Ctrl+C to stop the process. And the output of these example program may vary with the processor speed and task load. Based on that, sometimes here it is given example that putting 0 and got 0 based on 7 times, 6 times or 7 times. Some of the times, some of the computers may be 10 times, some of the computers may be 20 or more than 20 likes. That depends on the vary with the processor speed and the task load, right? And go to the execution part. I will show you different cases of this one as it is. See here, the same code I have taken here, put function, got function, get function like, and the producer class implements runnable, and same putting the value into the buffer infinitely and producing items. There is no particular mechanism here. Directly they are putting values into for consuming. Whereas this consumer class implements runnable, it consumes the values get produced by that one.